Well, I'm out here to drop off the battery, and I have to say, curiosity's got the better of me. I'm gonna pop the air cleaner, make sure it's free, and then I want to see if she'll cheech. I bet there's just enough diesel in there to get her to spit a bit of smoke out. I need 2 hands for this. Alright, got terminals cleaned up. Couldn't get the air cleaner open. It's got a gasket on it, and I don't want to ruin that. It doesn't seem like there's a rat's nest in it, and I don't want to run it without it on there with how much crap's in there at the moment. Looks like the posts are swapped between the Group 49 and the Group, what is this, 34 out of my Jeep. So that's interesting. I have to kind of sit it like that so it doesn't, make contact with the top of the car. But I'm going to take the keys, and the car doesn't look like it's on fire, and I'm going to see what kind of life it gets. Alright, let's see if we get anything from the ignition. I don't know what that is, but that's a noise. Don't see the glow plug light on. I got it turned partially and I'm getting nothing. Crank? Oh, there's glow plugs. Glow plugs. Well, she's turning over, so that's a good sign. The glow plugs do something. I guess that's probably the door open noise. Alright. I think she's just out of fuel. So, that looks good to me. Guess we'll pull my battery out. It's also interesting that I have enough juice to be able to even turn the dang thing over. Actually, do I have... I think all my linkages are free. Let's see, where's the lift pump? There's the lift pump. There's the fuel filter. Ooh, that's not good. That's a fuel line. Let me give it one more crank, just for the halibut, and then we'll call it quits before this thunderstorm kills me. Maybe I have to have the door shut, although I don't really fit in this thing. Also, I kind of don't want to get trapped in here and die. And these are electric windows, so I can't even roll it down. Oh no, it still screams at me. Well, the temperature sensor works, and the fuel gauge seems to work. Not getting oil pressure though. There's some kind of liquid in there. Lift pump's pulling something out the tank. So that's cool to note. And I do smell what I assume is diesel. So there's stuff moving. Oh, there is some coming out the bottom of that lift pump, so that'll have to be rebuilt, I bet. Oh. Well, maybe that's why. I bet she just wasn't breathing. Well, let's open the turbo up just a little bit so she can get something that's not this giant chunk of hood insulation in her. And see if it does something. It's like a thunder coming over. I don't really fit in this. Alright. Third time's the charm. Glow plugs. Tells me my battery's low. Not really spinning it over very fast, but I do. This is only a 800 cold cranking amp battery that hasn't been charged for a month, but fuel light's on now. But just turned over just fine. So that's enough for me to at least pursue getting the title in the meantime. Man, I was gonna try and pump out the back seat if I had time, but this thunder has just ate up all of it. But good God, just look at that. That's deeper than it was before. Hot shit. And there's like a mat under here. But that floor pan is rock solid. There's a good 2.5 inches of water in there though. But yeah, she's solid though. That's the crazy thing. I'll have to come back out here another day and pump all that out. Then I think I'm gonna come back with painter's tape, tape that off, and probably leave some sort of something cracked in here. Make some sort of vent set up just so she can dry as much as something can in this state. All right, I got some painter's tape, transfer pump, and this GoPro that I don't know how to use, and I'm going to go about taping off the sunroof, taping off these cracks in the window and where the weather strippings disappeared over here, and just try and keep some of the water out. I have a feeling that it's been running off of that drip edge, although this is, a pretty about 2 foot from where the actual drip edge is. But I feel like it's getting in there somehow, some way. It's probably mostly the sunroof. We're going to do that, and then I'm going to pump out the back seat as best I could. I probably should have bought a bucket, but we'll get it done. Well, I know the audio quality on this thing is pretty awful, so I've got the case open, and hopefully I don't get suddenly deluged by this light sprinkling that's going by and ruin the camera. But hopefully this doesn't sound terribly awful. And if it does, you'll be listening to some royalty-free music. So, I hope you enjoy. I'm gonna get sleep. There's that taped, and I've only managed to scuff up the paint a little bit with the camera. I should probably put some painter's tape on that magnet. And I guess I'm getting to pumping, and then once I've got everything pumped, I'm going to tape off these windows. I guess no point in taping them now if I've got to open the doors. Also, apparently the day before I was out here trying to crank this, there was some meth head wandering around trying to steal catalytic converters, so that's good to find out 4 days later. Hey, it actually moves. So my plan is I'm going to pull out these floor mats and the under matting and throw them back there on the trunk, I guess. Let them dry out, and then so I can get down in there and pump everything out. I'm going to do that on both sides, although there may not be standing water over there. Which could mean that there's a hole in the floorboard over there. Let's get to it. Hot damn, that's a nostalgia hit right there. We got a trio of floppies, Frogger, Quicken, QuickBooks, AOL 8.0, and Alan Jackson's Drive.
Built out of love, made for water.
That's gonna be the theme for this project. I hope this seat moves too. Yeah, I think it does. Well, open up the glove box, and we got the original owner's manual and registration of my aunt's name. Got some medical bills for Ricardo Campo. I got no idea who he is. He must have worked for my uncle sometime 15 years ago, because they're from 2003. Got a tube of touch-up paint and a couple of fuses. Best thing of all, bam. None of that. Or this. I suspect there might be a hole in this floor pan somewhere, but not a big one. There's some fairly significant rust. Ooh, is that a quarter? Ugh. Oh yeah, we're making money off of this revival already. And there's 4 cents in the glove box. And that might be a Chuck E. Cheese token shit. Also, I just found out this super fancy armrest works beautifully, and I just got doo-doo rust stains all over it. Chic. Also, found Porsche crest in here, so I don't know what that's about. Maybe I'll stick that on Theseus, who knows? So maybe we'll glue it to the front, I don't know. We'll see. It sounds dumb enough for me to do. Oh, I also found this coin tray, and I put it back in, and it works. I don't know why it was over there, but it was there. Oh god, I've been putting off pumping. Let's get to pumping. Alright, went and taped off that side. Just because I don't need to pump it, so I might as well do it now before I forget. And I'm going to go work on that pump that I keep putting off. Well, she seems to be making short work of it. Can't say I'm not used to being crouched over next to a random car that I don't own, pumping continuously. Oh wow. Don't know why, but the seal just suddenly got much better on this. Those are some nice carpets right there. Mint. Not a stain on them. Well, anyway, I've been pumping. That's as far down as I can get her. There's about yay much water left in both sides of that floor pan, and I can't get it up with the pump. No matter how much I pump it, I can't get it up. Yeah, that's just the way a siphon pump works. So instead, I'm going to use this big old beach towel that I keep in my car for just such an occasion, that I found in a field after a work event that someone used to get themselves out of a mud hole, and it didn't work, but they left their towel, and I took it and I washed it and I keep it in my car for cleaning up gross nast. That worked pretty good. It seemed to do the trick just fine. I couldn't quite get everything out of that channel there underneath that wire. Just because I'm out of towel and I can't wring it out well enough. But I'm just jam that sunscreen up under it and hope it evaporates. There's tons of water in this floor mat too. I guess I'll jam something underneath that too. And call it a day. Tape up this window. But I think all of the rain was coming in through that, so I think I'm going to leave that window open actually. That's it for that. Because she turned over, I saw that as a good enough sign. I went and I bought a set of fuel filters, an inline and a spin-on, and I'm going to go dig out whatever fuel line I got in case I need it, and I'm probably going to set up a bypass for the tank. Or actually, what I'm probably going to do is get a longer piece of fuel hose, stick that down in the tank, and see if anything comes out. I bought a diesel can so I can put some in there. And if I can, I want to pump out as much of the tank as possible. Then just dump some fresh fuel in there. Hook up something to the return into a 5-gallon bucket, and then just spin her over until I blow all the old diesel out. Spin off the filter, stick on a new one, and send it. I mean, I guess I'd have to check to, before I run the lift pump, run everything out till it looks clean, then spin off the filter, put on a new one, then pump it dry into a return line, and at that point she might fire. Or the strainer in there is totally clogged and then it won't, in which case I'll do a bypass. But until then, that's the progress. We're going to let her air dry for, probably a month. Until then, time out. There. That ought to do something, I think.
Can't you smell